What is it that you can produce? Please, as I said, no personal experiences. Don't tell me, general statements and stuff like that. What can you produce that I can look at today and I'm like, okay, Arab is right. Christianity is the truth. I should become a Christian.
Well, I wouldn't sit here and tell you that Christianity is the truth. I would tell you that there are many great teachings from Christianity. I would tell you there are many great teachings from Islam. I would tell you there's many great teachings from many different philosophies. I wouldn't tell you that one or the other is the truth. What you're automatically doing is you're saying, okay, yeah, Islam is the truth, but you can't provide personal experience, right? You're automatically denying that personal experience matters.
No, I don't. I say personal experience does matter, but it's not an evidence to present to a third party. Personal experience is personal, it's subjective, right? So it can work for you, right? You can say, I believe that because of this, but that doesn't work for a third person. I cannot give my personal experience as proof that something is true objectively for others.
So then therefore, I couldn't use any of my personal experiences.
I won't.
Okay, well
that's truth without doing that.
That's where we differ. Because I believe it all comes.
We don't differ because you.
No, I believe it all comes through personal experience.
No, we don't differ because you don't say Christianity is the truth. Let me ask you a different question.
Sure, feel
because
free.
Now you seem like you're jumping into more of an atheistic ground of philosophy.
No. Don't put me as atheist. I'm very close with God and I listen very closely.
I'm not saying you're an atheist. I believe you're jumping into their.
I believe we have the same Allah.
Jumping into their traps.
I believe we have the same Allah. I don't think there's any traps here, and I'm not trying to debate you.
Oh, okay, I'll ask you then the question why I say that. Right? Is there absolute truth?
There is absolute truth.
Okay, then you're not being a hyper skeptic. Okay, how do you know the absolute truth?
You experience it. Absolute truth is completely experienced. And once you experience
how do you experience it? Give me an example.
You have to be humble enough to admit that you're wrong. That all the years, that the decades of shit that you've learned is wrong. But that's really hard to do because you've studied. Right? It's really hard to do because you read all these books. You read the Quran and you know that that's the truth. But guess what? Another guy also still experienced truth and he never got a book. He had a personal experience that led him to
How do you know he experienced truth? How do you know he experienced truth?
Because I've also experienced truth.
How do you know what you experienced?
And that specific truth taught me that what I had learned about Christianity was wrong. And it also taught me that what I had learned about Islam was wrong. And so I had to admit that with myself. I had to go against the beliefs of my parents or my church or my whatever.
Sure.
Right?
Okay, but you're not saying what the absolute truth is. Look,
because you can't define the absolute. You can't define the absolute truth with simple English language. That's not how it works. Like, do you understand how much nuance there is to the world, Muslim Lantern? Do you understand that even even the English language, if we were to communicate together, correct? Even the English language has thousands of different, infinitely nuanced perceptions of it. Thousands.
Okay. I'm sorry, Arab, but I'm gonna say that's a cop-out. I'll tell you why.
You're welcome to say whatever it is. Right? Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but we're having a discussion, right?
Sure. Yeah, of course. Of course.
Right? Yeah. So I'll tell you why I'm saying it's a cop-out. God created us. You believe in a creator. You believe God created us, correct?
Of course.
Yeah. So God created us for a purpose. You agree?
Yes, 100%.
That is what I mean when I say absolute truth. When I say absolute truth, I'm not talking about you take some shrooms and you go into this a crazy journey. I'm not talking about that.
But the purpose is what?
You discover the reality of the universe.
The purpose is personal, correct?
I'm saying no. There is a personal purpose that you can take as a human being in your life. Deciding to be an astronaut, a professor, or whatever. That's your personal life.
Sure.
I'm talking about the objective purpose God set for humans as mankind, right? He created mankind and he had a purpose for mankind in general. Something that they are supposed to do or that they're created for. I'm talking about that kind of purpose. You can have your own personal purpose, right? We have many people who are doctors, engineers, whatever, authors, writers, artists in their own ways, right? We're not taking away from that. We're talking about why did God put us on this earth, right? You look at everything in the universe and everything has its purpose.
God put you on this earth.
A lot. You look at
God put you on this earth to create.
How do you know that? That's the question.
Because I've spent a lot
You're
of
speaking
time.
on behalf of God now. So you're speaking on behalf of God.
I've spent a lot of time alone, listening, not talking to anybody, away from the internet, in mountains, not on mushrooms. Okay, like you want to say so that it brings down a certain perception in the stream. Okay, because that's what we do, right?
I'm not
We
saying
stream.
you're doing it. I'm
Sure.
not saying you're doing it. I wasn't saying you're doing it. Yeah.
But my point is, in order to listen to God, you have to actually tune in, and you have to tune out all the noise. And it's really hard to tune out all the noise because there's noise everywhere at all angles, on your phone, on your algorithm, from people trying to drain you of your own time, from so many different angles. And in order to get there, it is personal experience, because you have a purpose, Muslim Lantern. Sneako has a purpose. I have a purpose. And that purpose might be a purpose in a greater object of things, sure, which you would call absolute truth, but you only get to the absolute truth by analyzing your personal experience. So that's where we differ. I believe the absolute truth is available to everybody, and they don't need a book.